once again with King of Talk on pole after an amazing qualifying session. Richie, his teammate, lines up alongside. We're about to get green here at Suzuka Circuit for round 8 of DRL DTM. Green, 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 and the cars are off. And Richie's in the back had an awful start. In fact, Ball Guy, look at Ball Guy in the R8 of Saxton. Straight down the inside. It's going to be challenging King of Talk. King of Talk's going to try and hang it around the outside of him. There's contact. Will Apple be able to get into this? Doesn't look like it at this stage as they make their way through the S's. King of Talk finally managing to shake Bald Guy off. Apple couldn't capitalise on this particular situation, so through all of that it's King of Talk up to first, Bald Guy second, and Apple third, Gugus into fourth, Bandit in fifth. As they make their way through Dunlop. It's Richie down to 6th, Mika 7th, Waddles here in 8th, and a bit further down we have Gentleman Racing 9th and Wybear in 10th. They're making their way down towards the hairpin for the first time. King of Talk, a bit of a scary start for him, nearly being overtaken off the grid, but manages to hold on that pole position. Gonna have a replay of the start. What happened to Richie? You just see the ball guys out there, just out of nowhere, and then Apple as well managing to get past. There you see Bandit on the side, and there's contact with Gugus actually, and a bit of lagging going on as well in Richie's car. A look at the start from Wybear's perspective. So off the grid, you see a bit of wheel spin from Gugus' car. And as they make their way through turn 1, you can see it's an absolute cluster. Everyone managing to not run wide. So a relatively clean start for the field. Going back to the live footage, Gugus closing up to the back of Apple. Oh, there's a bit of smoke and he's nearly outbroken. He's on the AstroTurf and that's ran him wide. Losing positions because of that. Even Mika managing to pass him now, so Gugus drops out of the points and nearly spears into the side of Waddles. Are they going to go 3 wide into 130R? We're about to see. Doesn't look like it. Gugus managing to just about get ahead. Oh, and Waddles just speared off to the complete opposite direction. What on earth happened there? Some major contact, must have been with Gugus. And Bandits ran wide at Casio Triangle, so he's losing positions from that. Managed to keep it out the barrier at least. Looks like he might be coming under a bit of pressure from Wybear now, so he might lose that final point position. He's currently in 6th. Some cars making their pit stops after they picked up damage. Having to defend, Wybear's not quite close enough. Now with King of Talk starting to check out, there you can see the gap he's managed to pull out over these two a bit further back. Ball Guy having to defend from Apple. Apple's gonna try and go around the outside through this section. He'll change to the inside, going into Spoon. If he manages to hang it round the V8 versus the V10 in the BMW and Audi respectively, and Apple manages to hold on to it. No chance of a cutback from Bald Guy on that occasion. Also, Richie's starting to come back into this as well. They dropped down to 6th off the start, now back up to 4th. We're going to hope that they'll benefit from this little scrap. Is Bald Guy going to try something? He's looking to the inside. Doesn't quite get it done. He's going to lose a bit of momentum from that, and indeed Richie's going down the inside of Casio. And he slides. Oh, but that was just a bit of lag, it would seem. So Richie up into 3rd. Meanwhile, King of Talk, as we see, has extended such a large gap at this point. Really has just turned into a time trial session for him so early on in the race. Richie now starting to close up to the back of Apple. As they make their way through Spoon, he's definitely going to be within the slipstream range of the Crown Plaza car. A bit of a livery glitch, unfortunately, showing the stock Walkenhorst livery on this as we go on board with THG Richie. Apple goes defensive, and Richie wisely backs out. But Apple's ran wide onto the AstroTurf. On the grass. Is he going to be able to hold it? He just about manages to keep ahead on that occasion. But Richie is looking even closer now, and he's alongside. And now Bald Guy is going to come back into the fray as well. Oh, little bit of onion barges as they make their way down to turn 1. And Richie on the inside line easily makes the move stick. So Richie now up to where he's qualified in second. Meanwhile, watching a bit of a replay, what happened to Bald Guy? Just seemed to get on the grass and just slide a little bit. Bald Guy now coming into the pits, as has Mika. And on pit exit, looks like they get out just about finding some clear air, so that'll allow them to make up a bit of time. Apple now making his pit stop on lap 14. So that's a fresh set of softs for the Brit. And in fact his teammate GRM Bandit will come out ahead of him, who's yet to make his pit stop. And he does manage to get out ahead of Bald Guy as well, but not by much. Bald Guy's got those tyres up to temperature by now. As we can see, King of Torque has just come into the pits at the end of this lap, so that shows how far ahead he is from this group. Now Apple will be having the slipstream off his teammate in the Deutsche Post car, and we're going on board with him, but it's going to be a case of how will he actually manage. Will this allow Bald Guy to capitalise? Indeed, Apple has to back out on this occasion. Bald Guy's looking to the inside, thinks better of it. Oh, and he's closed up, and Apple's round! Apple's round! Got on the grass on the run down to Casio, just trying to avoid his teammate. Things really haven't worked out for him there. Bandit goes into the pits now. So that promotes Bald Guy up into third. Apple drops down the order to fourth. And will have probably picked up a bit of damage on top of that, as a new fastest lap of the race of 1:57.4 for King of Torque. Absolutely no sight of anyone behind him at this point. Making his way through. This is Waddles, his teammate, so he's about to be lapped, and he pulls over to one side with the hazards on, allows his teammate past, flashes the lights. And Apple now, and he gets it wrong again, this time on the AstroTurf, on the outside of 130R, so that's definitely going to be damaged, but at least if he's going to pick up damage, might as well do it relatively close to the pit lane. And indeed, it would probably seem like he's going to go into the pits on this occasion. No, he stays out. So, thinking that he can drive around the damage here, a bit risky at Suzuka. Meanwhile, Gentleman Racing about to be lapped by King of Torque, it would seem, as Waddles has actually retired from this one at this point. So relatively simple overtake. Of course the blue flag's helping King out. So Gentleman Racing now coming through the last corner, runs a little bit wide and indeed clips the grass, and they're in the wall. So that is exactly where you don't want to get damage, is right after the pit entry. So you've got to do a whole another lap, and indeed 1 lap later, Gentleman Racing coming around and will go into the pits, it would seem, yep. And now Apple struggling with the damage that he picked up, being caught by his teammate Mika, who's silently been going about his business and has managed to get himself up into 5th at this stage. So Mika's looking very strong, closing up quite nicely. Going on board with the Flying Dutchman. You can see just closing and closing. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike, it would seem. He's trying for the outside line. Apple just about holds on. Oh, bit of a slide. And pulling a little bit wide, and that's definitely allowing Mika to go through. There you can see, very easily done by the Dutchman. Now Apple will be trying to use the slipstream just to try and keep pace, salvage some kind of points. Making their way through Casio. It's still quite close between the two. I doubt Apple will be able to do much with that damage that they have in terms of challenging Mika again. Now watching Gentleman Racing as they're going a bit slow. As in fact, I believe they've just waited out the clock, and indeed it is the final lap because of that, so they're just waiting for the hour mark to tick over. And they do a formation finish with their teammate Bald Guy taking home third on this occasion. Also, now the Nuke Shot guys, all three of them are lining up for a formation finish as well. We've got Mika taking fourth, Apple fifth, and Bandit in sixth. Wybear will come home across the line in seventh. But an absolutely dominating display from one guy only. It's King of Torque, yet again proving why he is one of the title contenders for this season. This Casio triangle to go, he gets that just about perfectly. Round in the final corner, and it is indeed going to be King of Torque who wins here at Suzuka. Fantastic drive from the Brit. Car 98, top step of the podium, and his teammate Richie, who's actually lost some wheels, has somehow managed to come across the line in second. That is it for DRL DTM round 8. See you next time, folks.